Hello, you alright? Got a bit of a video blog for you today. Basically, I'm just going to show you 5 shirts that I've listed this week that I thought were very interesting. What we got first? Celta Vigo. It's from the 2000-2001 season, worn by legendary South African striker Benny McCarthy. Now, Intertoto Cup? Yeah. This is the semi-final second leg. It was won against Aston Villa. Now, I bet you can't tell me where this match was played. Not Villa Park, the Hawthorns, because Villa Park was being refurbished, so they had to play it at West Brom. Turned out to be an absolute carnage match. The referee, dear to shock, sent off 3 players, booked about 14, gave 2 penalties, and even blew for full time 2 minutes earlier than he was supposed to. His linesman said, "Come on, what are you doing?" Love this shirt because it's pretty rare. They only wore it in the UEFA Cup. They went on to get to the quarterfinals this season before losing to Barca. Benny, though, he was a great striker, wasn't he? Had a glorious season 99-2000, but sort of hit the skids in Vigo a bit this season, but went on to be a great star at Porto, where he won the Champions League in 2004. I like on this is the way the name set is just so heavily applied. It's like it was almost painted in there. So that's number 1. Next up is a Monaco shirt. Now, all of these shirts which I'm showing you today, they're all match-worn shirts, which means the player has worn it in a match. Some of them are worn for 90 minutes. This shirt was actually only worn for 1 minute. Dado Perso came on as a late sub in a 2-1 victory at PSV Eindhoven in the 03-04 season wearing this shirt. Love the light grey stripes on there. I like Champions League shirts because they're different to the shirt that the team wears in the domestic competition. So it's like a small size Fedcom sponsor, and you know what the French team shirts are like, they'll have sponsors on the sleeves and everything, but they have to get rid of all of that to meet the UEFA regulations. Turned out to be a great season for Monaco. They went all the way to the final for the first time. Remember the 8-3 with Deportivo? Dado scored 4 in that match. Didn't manage to get a goal in this 1 minute of action, but he was the second top goal scorer in the competition this season behind Fernando Morientes, who he was awesome that season, wasn't he? Rothen, Julie. It's a great Monaco team, Patrice Evra. Love this shirt. Great season, yeah, like it. Actually, I said all the shirts were match worn. They're not, because this shirt never actually saw any action. Scotland took their away strip to the 1986 World Cup in Mexico, but never actually wore it. Played West Germany, Uruguay and Denmark, all wearing the home shirt. Produced in that Airtex style material that they only wore at the tournament. They didn't use this Airtex material in any other games, not in qualifying, not in friendlies. So this shirt, couldn't buy it. You couldn't buy it to this specification with the embroidered crest, embroidered umbro, embroidered detail. Got the SFA on the sleeve. It's Maurice Malpass's shirt, the Dundee United legend. But we didn't actually get this shirt from him. It came from another member of the Scotland team, which is it's quite interesting as well. I like this. I just like to think that it went all the way to Mexico with the kit man and then just sat in a bag and never saw any action. Okay, next up, Greece. You see this shirt and you think Euro 2004, glory. But it's not actually from Euro 2004. This particular shirt is from the World Cup qualification campaign and a match against Denmark played at Parken Stadium, Copenhagen. I think this is quite interesting because I believe this is the first time that a World Cup qualifying patch was used in the UEFA competition. So it's quite interesting patch there. It's worn by Stelios Giannakopoulos. He was a great player for Bolton, wasn't he? I like this shirt. It's still dirty from the match. You can see the marks there, and I really like that. It's literally like unwashed from the game. Wasn't really a glorious game for Greece, unfortunately. They were hoping to get to their first World Cup since 1994, but they became the second team who are the reigning European champions, to miss out like Denmark did. Funny enough, in the match against Denmark, they then missed out on a place at the 2006 World Cup. Euro 2004, Giannakopoulos, what a hero. Next up, possibly the rarest of the bunch, Albania, from a match against Ireland in 1992. There's a real story behind this one, a real saga, in fact. Albania turned up in Ireland without a kit. A lot of toing and froing went on before an Irish newspaper and a Cork sportswear company called Adidas, but with two Ds, Adidas, decided that they would help Albania out and make a kit for them. So this was essentially just Adidas teamwear with an Albania crest stuck on there. But also Albania had just launched a new crest. So there was and pre-internet days, you can't just send over a PDF with a crest on it. It's such an ordeal for them to get this crest on there, but they did, and that meant that Albania had a more modern kit in the match than the Republic of Ireland did, because Ireland was still wearing their shirt that they'd won at the 1990 World Cup, whereas Albania were then in the new Adidas spec shirt that you'd seen at Euro 92. You know, Germany had it, France had it, CIS had it. But then by the time the teams played again, Albania were back in an Umbro kit which was an 88 template. That's the type of stuff that happened back in the early 90s. See, like the Adidas print on the back is the same style as the Ireland. It's one by a player called Undoki. So yeah, love that one. Think it's very interesting. So there were my 5 favourite match-worn shirts from this week. Leave me a comment, let me know what your favourite of those were. If there's anything else you'd like to see, you know, that you've seen listed on the website recently, try and feature it in a future video. Hoping to do a few more videos now, so, you know, make sure you subscribe to the channel, keep watching, and we'll have some more interesting shirts for you soon. Cheers!